Alright, chat. Behold, the tier list. Okay. So we're just gonna kind of go down the list as it is listed here. Vampire bullets. I'm just testing this. Oh, this is gonna be a little annoying to show. So I'm just gonna read the in-game descriptions as we walk through them because you will not see it. So vampire bullets is 40% damage dealt is restored to you as healing. That is S. That is probably the S-iest of S in the entire game. I don't think it gets any better. Okay. Energy drink, yeah? So... going through these descriptions is kind of a pain. Energy drink is 40% move speed, 30% accuracy, and 40% reload speed for 8 seconds at max. I would say that it can definitely turn the tide of a gunfight in your favor very easily. And I think considering it is a one-cost card that can have that big of a change on your gunfight, it is an S tier. Where does it sit in S tier necessarily? I don't really know yet. Okay, helmet. Helmet. Yeah, lifesteal is always broken in every new game that has it. Lifesteal is insane. Like, just in general. Like, especially in a game like this where you're trading shots, like... Alright, helmet. Received headshot damage. I believe at max it is minus 90%. So that makes... I think helmet is one of those cards I think that you don't necessarily need in a deck. But it is a really good card to counter a lot of other cards, like Big Head, Leica, things like that. So I think it is very strong for helping you mitigate getting one shot by those things. All I'm saying is it is 5 to the body or 3 to the head with Leica on a 150 health character. Do I think it necessarily needs to be an S, considering it's a 2-cost card? No, I would say it is an A. I'd say it is an A because it is good, but not game-defining. It is a good counter card, but it is just, like, I feel like it's always, like, a deck essential to have. Like, over, like, say something like Small Head. Poison bullets got a nerf recently, so let me review it. So, each bullet hit inflicts poison, so at max, it is minus 2 HP a second for 2 seconds. So, for every time you shoot a bullet, you are getting an extra 4 damage. So, comparatively speaking, that is a little worse than steel bullets. Just a little bit. However, the difference between that and steel bullets is damage over time can be utilized on certain effects, such as immortality, or like things say like Titan, to great extent, because as opposed to just dealing that damage outright and having it affected by DR from say Titan or what are the other DR cards? I think even Heartless takes poison damage. So like things that give you immortality still take damage from poison bullets, which is why I'd put it in A as well. If it was before the nerf, I'd put it in S because it was just objectively better than steel bullets, but I would definitely say it sits comfortably in A now, and it, in the right hands and in the right cards, is game winning. Mostly because it scales incredibly well with, like, the Grasshopper. Tin Man. Timed invulnerability at the cost of movement speed. So, on that one, you're looking at Invincible with movement speed minus 40% for 5 seconds at max. This card does the same thing that Ice Block does, except you can move, and it doesn't have health. This card is an incredibly good reactive card to getting sticked, to getting stuck, to getting bomb spam, to getting put into a really awful gunfight. It has a lot of viability in 2s, so like when your ally's about to go down, you pop this, and now they have 5 more seconds where they can shoot people. Which sometimes that's the difference between getting a trade or losing. So I think that's pretty big. I think it's really short for what it is. It's also a 3-cost card. I wouldn't put it in S, personally, because it is another card what I consider to be a reactive card. This is something that, when it comes to like a reactive card, the things I'm basing that off of are like, what are the use cases for this card? How much does this card cost? How long does this card last? What all does this counter? This counters effectively everything besides damage over time. It costs a lot and has a short time frame. Invisibility. Okay, this card is kind of goofy, and I've kind of stayed away from it for a while. You are invisible until your next attack. This card is interesting. I think there are way too many ways to view your opponents, especially now with the introduction of the 3-cost card Predator Vision. Oh wait, isn't Predator Vision... It says 3 on this. I thought it was 1. Am I going crazy? Yeah, Predator Vision's 1. It's a 1-cost. Yeah. You have a 1-cost wall hacks to challenge a 3-cost invisibility. You have poison. You have health down. You have toxic bomb. You have... Like, don't get me wrong, it's really funny to walk up to someone invisible and stick them with a sticky bomb, but unfortunately that doesn't kill everyone. That doesn't kill Donnie with a health up. That doesn't kill most characters with a health up. That doesn't kill Lars, period. I think it's okay, and it has use cases, but I'm going to put it in B. Okay, Love Letter. So at max, this gives you 25 HP, and sends a copy of this card to one of your rivals. I could see that, Artie. I could see that. My problem is, though, is that I have a lot of cards I want to put in C and D. I may reevaluate Invisible once we get a little further down the board. There's gimmicks that you can use with invisibility, considering you can use infinite deployables while you are invisible, and you will not break invisibility. So you can just go invis, like in 2s, and you can just chuck shit at people. It's so funny. But, like, yeah, I would argue, like, from, like, a gameplay perspective, like, oh, yeah, I get 1 free shot. Which, like, could be a 90 damage, you know, shot with, like, you know, the boomstick. But you're burning a 3-cost card to get 1 free shot. Maybe. Love Letter is a gimmick card. This is a meme card, I swear. Like, it is really... It's a lot of health, but you are literally just trading health with your opponent. It has some use with things like barbed cards, so it punishes them for using it, or like they can't use it effectively, so it's just another healing item. It goes in C. I feel like Ninja Log achieves the same thing too. Ninja Log is effectively the same thing. I'm putting Ninja Log in S, just everyone knows that prior. Small Head. At max health, at max tier, it is 60% reduced head size. Mind Blowing is one of the best cards, one of the best debuff cards in the game. It is also one of the very few 4-cost ones. Small Head does a lot to make Mind Blowing suck more. However, you still can be shot in the head and your brain still pops out. There are 1-cost cards that make it so I don't have to worry about that. Or I can just stick my head in the ground like a fucking emu. It is a 1-cost card, however. But you are giving up deck space for that, and you're giving up the opportunity to draw a better card. C. I think C. It could be B. I think before the nerf it was A. I'm gonna say it's C. Just because of how powerful Mind Blowing is. Health Up. S. Straight up. People using my 4 cards of coverage, turning around and looking down. True. Health Up is insane. I would probably put it in the same tier as Medkit, as in terms of like, because I'm going to put Medkit in A. Probably. I'm going to think about it a little bit. But the difference between that and this is this raises your max health. which means any effective damage reduction you get is increasing your effective HP. So health up Titan is insane. In 2s, you're raising your teammate's health as well. And that can get pretty ludicrous. So that's kind of my 2 cents on why I'm putting that in S as opposed to A. And we're just going to kind of leave it at that. I would say it's near the tail end of S and the high end of A. But I'm going to put it up there. Move faster. In a game all about shooting each other, strafe speed is big. Strafe speed is really, really, really big. For the record, move faster at max gives you 45% increased movement speed. Now, I'm personally biased towards this card because I play Haru. Haru is inherently getting, I think, like a 25% speed increase. So, I run around like a crazy fuck. Like, it's almost overwhelming. But being able to move faster makes it so much easier to put pressure on your opponents. You combine that with something like the boomstick, and you've pretty much won the round. And at a cost of 1, I would almost argue that it goes into S, but I'm gonna keep it in A for now. And this is like, if like move faster and health up are 2 of those just like cards that are always gonna be in my deck because they are so strong. Double jump. Double jump. Okay, this is a card I haven't played around with too much yet. So, at max, you gain double jump for 90 seconds. Being able to jump twice is really strong. There's a whole character based around it. There's a whole character passive that gets that. For comparison, max to no jump, I believe, is 40 seconds. So, a lot of times I see people utilize double jump in their deck. It's to counteract one of 2 things. 1, funny moose player. 2, no jump. It's one of those other cards where it's like, it has utility, it's more movement, it allows you to get up into funny places. There's all sorts of funny jumps on places like Subway. I'm gonna say... it only costs 1 card. It only costs 1 point, and it counters a... No jump's like, what, 3? 2? 2. It counters a 2-cost card and gives you more movement. I'm gonna say high end to B. Almost A. That one's close. More accuracy. Alright. For those who aren't aware, this game has bloom. The more you shoot your gun, the worse your reticle gets. Like I said, whole character passive based around it. Let me take a look here. I'm trying to remember how much it is. So in max, I believe that is 65% more accuracy? Something like that. On high rate of fire weapons, like the Grasshopper, the FK, which are strong weapons in their own right, as well as things like the Golden Boira or the Boira, just spraying bullets down the corridor at someone else. More accuracy means that, mathematically speaking, your bloom is going to be better, and you're going to hit more shots. So that at a cost of 1 card, considering how much it enables high rate of fire weapons, I'm putting it in A. Exclusively because it makes the Grasshopper and the FK viable at a range outside of mouse, like straight up kissing distance. Outside of like fucking tap firing, which like you can do that, I guess, but have fun with that. Steel bullets. Oh yeah, this is a big one. Steel bullets. 32% increase to damage dealt. That's a lot of extra damage. That is a shitload of extra damage. You're doing 25 to the head with a Boira in range. That is a 6-shot kill with a gun that has, what, 10 in the mag? 12 in the mag? I don't remember. I don't count. Regardless, this raises the time to kill on literally every gun in the game by a substantial margin. You can, like, one-tap people with the boomstick with this. Like, it's kind of absurd. It does cost 2. You only get it for 1 round. But I definitely think that it's one of those cards which can, like, completely change the pace of the game. And for 2 points to being able to secure that big of an advantage, like, it's S. That is S tier, straight up. Like, as long as you can hit your shots, that's, like, GG. Big Mag. You know what they say about Big Mags? Big bullets. 50% increased mag capacity. Okay. Let me real talk here. Okay. Let's go through the guns that would utilize a larger magazine during a gunfight in a reasonable way. The boomstick goes up to 12 in the mag, or goes up to 12, but you still have to, you can still reload and you can reload cancel by shooting when you have a weapon in the, or a bullet in the mag, so I don't think it's worth it on that gun at all. Katana? No. Puncher? Same situation as the boomstick. Maybe a little better, I guess, because you could spray puncher shots down an alleyway, I guess. Albatross. If you've missed all the shots in that mag, you're probably dying, and A on me, C on everyone else, IMO. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Because I think the guns that realistically that's good on is going to be Grasshopper, Leica, AK, Boira. I mean, there are guns that it's good on, and I even argue Leica probably not as much. And it does also have the use of countering small mag, because I believe small mag at max is a little worse. So small mag is actually 50% as well. So it does also allow you to counter that. I'm gonna say C. Yeah, I think C is a comfortable place for it. It has uses for sure. Medkit, A. I would almost put it in S, but it doesn't really win you. Shit. Maybe the very front of A. You don't not run Medkit. Medkit wins you rounds. Medkit wins you rounds you have no right to win. For those who aren't aware, Medkit, as a card, gives you 70 health, just straight up. 70 health. For perspective, health up gives you 60. I don't know about you guys, but 70 health during a gunfight is a lot. That's, you can tank like, what? Fucking 6 more body shots off of that from the Boira. You can tank a lot just off of that. And like, you get a bad trade, you pop that, you actually have a chance at winning the match again. 1 free Alba body shot. True. That's 1 free Albatross body shot. And then you can run up to him and ego him with a sticky bomb. Yeah, it's staying in A, but I will confidently say anything in A or S is something that you need to be running in your deck. Outside of like me talking about some of the S alternatives to some of the A's. Bullet time. This card sucks. This card sucks. I hate bullet time. I'm glad it's in the game because I think it's cool. But slowing time for 4 seconds has one use case. And I mean one. And that is making mind-blowing good. That is it. That is the only thing it is good for. Oh, but I can pop this and get a cool trick shot on the Albatross. Yeah, you just popped a 1-cost card to make a 3-cost card, guarantee 1 headshot. It has uses, but like, there's so many ways to counter it. Ice Block, Tin Man, fucking Empty Mag, walking around a fucking corner. It definitely, like, in the right hands can be used incredibly well, and there are circumstances, like, for example, with Mind Blowing, where it enables you to one-shot someone in the head. You think it's good for lower skill players? Yeah, I'd agree with that. It's one of those cards that you get the most value out of it when you can, 1, use it unexpectedly, and 2, if you have an issue hitting headshots. C. High C. Almost B. I mean, I would agree with you. It is good for lower skill players, but like, I'm not a lower skilled player. I don't fucking know. That is a good point to note, that it definitely is one of those things that you get more value out of if you miss more shots. Alright. We're to the trap cards. Oh my god. You guys are going to hear me rant about Mirror Card for the next 5 minutes. Get ready. Counter card. It just stops them from playing a card. This is another one of those things where I think you find more value in it the lower elo, or like the lower skill player you get. If your opponent is smart, and sees you play a 3-cost trap card, they are going to play something crap. They are going to play, like, less accuracy, or like bullet time, or love letter, or small head, or Big Mag, or something that just doesn't work. Or they're gonna play an explosive if you're Lars. New players aren't gonna know that are not gonna make that connotation in their head that there are 4 trap cards in the game, and 2 of which are going to take away your card. Or 1 of which takes away your card, and the other which, the more I played the game, the less value I got out of counter card. Exactly. C. Confidently C. C for counter. It has its use cases. It can be really well used in a gunfight, and I definitely think in 2s it's better. Crap. It almost could go in B. Alright. We're gonna get to our first D tier card, everyone. Mirror card. I hate this card. Okay. So, the reason I'm putting this in D tier is because it is counter card. However, instead of taking away their use of the card, you also get to use the card. Now, on paper, this sounds really good, yeah? Like, oh, they played AK, and now I have AK. Oh, they played more accuracy, I have more accuracy. Oh, they played Bard cards, I played Bard cards. Mirror card actively works against you the more people play it. When I learned someone has a mirror card in their deck, my next trick is to make them eat their own, or to throw a Molotov at them and make them eat their own Molotov. Or, if they're not playing Lars, you can say, Sticky Bomb. You can throw a Sticky Bomb, and if they're hiding behind cover, they have just stuck the wall in front of them, and they have no cue for it, besides the card playing on the side of their screen from their side. That gives them a couple of seconds to react to the fact that they have just stuck a Sticky Bomb in front of themselves. It actively works against you in most circumstances. Because if people do the same shit that they're doing to counter card to mirror card, it's not a big deal. Do I think it has some use? Obviously, like, yeah, if you hit the mirror and you hit a good card, that's great. Ninja Log, S. You counteract 1 instance of damage, you become invisible, and you are given a movement speed bonus. This is one of the best cards in the game, straight up. You get stuck with a Sticky Bomb and you pop Ninja Log, not only do you live, but you now get to change your entire positioning, and your enemy can't see you, unless of course they're really paying attention or they have a dot on you. Not only that, you can still use deployables. Yeah, exactly. So if somebody Sticky Bombs you and you Ninja Log, you can now stick them with the Sticky Bomb, or if you're feeling particularly funny, you can just run right at them and you'll win. 2-cost trap card. Everyone knows that you pop it, but realistically, it's one of those cards where if they see you pop it, it's like, oh, well, shit, I just have to shoot him to get rid of it. Self-destruct device. You play this card, it is played as a trap card, and you are given a card that when you click it, you die, and you detonate, dealing a bunch of damage. Here's the way I look at it. This card is a stalemate card. If you are in a gunfight, and you are losing, and you are at a card disadvantage, and they have played a shitload of cards, and you played like 2 or 3, and you played, so you got a shit hand, and they just popped like Vampire Bullets, AK, Tin Man, Heartless, fucking mind-blowing, bullet time. They pretty much pulled all the works out on you. You just run at them and you just let them kill you, and you win. Implying they're not Lars or have thick skin. And even then, you can still kill them, it just has to be a lot closer on the window. And you can choose to detonate it at any time. So against any situation where they don't have those cards, you can just walk up to them and blow up like you're a human Sticky Bomb, and you win. Or you don't win, you tie. But realistically, you still get the point. And they get the point, but you still get the point. So if you're up a round and you pop this, bam, you're now 1 round away from winning, and you popped 1 card. A. Easily A. The reason I put it in A is because once you learn how to play around it, it is a little bit harder to get killed by it. But no matter what, if you learn how to play self-destruct, they have to play something to counter you. Or they have to play Lars. But that's neither here nor there. Poison. Poison. Okay, we're to the debuff cards. Oh man, these are fun. I love the debuff cards in this game. There are so many cool ones. Okay. Poison bullet, or just poison, sorry. Whew. Let me take a look. 5 HP a second for 5 seconds. So, 25 health, and you get a ping every 1 second through walls. This card used to be a lot better. If I recall, it lasted longer and did a little more damage. As of right now, I would say it is in a pretty good spot still. 25 free damage is still 25 free damage. And with the introduction of a card like Phantom Bullets, which allows you to shoot people through walls, getting 5 damage ticks through walls on top of all the audio cues in this game, on top of them trying not to get killed, it makes it pretty easy to actually just kind of laser people through walls. Like, heaven forbid you have a Leica or something, you can just body them like 5 times through the wall. However, it isn't as good as it used to be. I think before the nerf it would have been S. I think as of right now it is A. Garbage Day. This card is very interesting. This card would be an auto D tier, was it not for the fact that it's shuffled randomly against your cards, which completely screws up people's hands. That, and combined with things like Invisible Hand, Barb cards, things of that nature, gives it some viability. And I definitely think if you pop a Garbage Day mid-gunfight, or like during like the very beginning of your introduction to like a fight, you pop that, and you have completely displaced their hand. And now they have to look down and look at their cards instead of looking at you and shooting at you. Now that being said, that is as big of an issue as it is for the person playing. Like, if they care about their cards, like me, that's gonna throw me off really bad. If they're, you know, somebody that has 800 hours in Kovacs, they're gonna be like, huh? And then they're gonna shoot you like 9 times in the body, like as fast as humanly possible. Mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. Rival's brains exposed for 5 seconds. 5 seconds. Where you can do 10 times body shot damage. Yeah, no, I think so too, Artie. This has the ability to pop their brain out of their head based on the size of their head. And when you shoot it, you do 10 times body shot damage. That's the math calculation on it. So if you do 10 to the body with the Boira, you will do 100 to the head. With the Leica, that's a one tap at any range, on any character, at any health. Outside, they can pop double health up. And I think maybe Donnie survives one Leica headshot with Mind Blowing. One. This card is incredibly strong, the brain target hitbox is incredibly annoying, and you can shove your head into a wall and make it completely useless. On top of that, it's one of the reasons that Bullet Time finds itself almost in B tier is because of this card. I would argue that this card has to be enabled to be good, so I'm going to put it in high B. I would argue with you, most people would put this higher. I just kind of hate this card, not gonna lie. It's a lot of cost for a lot. Like, the opportunity of cost is insane. Like, you're giving up 4 points, so like that's a Joker card. That's like pre-nerf Titan. That's Heartless in another card. That's another fucking gun. That's like 3 deployables. Like, you're giving up a lot. Just in my opinion, as someone that looks at deck building in a pretty analytical sense, that card isn't always worth it. I think it's a little overused. That being said, it is really annoying when I get bullet timed, mind blowing, shot in the head, and lose a gunfight first round because of that. Ah, Christ. I'm gonna put bullet time in B, I think. I think that combination alone puts it in B. Swap weapons. This is the only way you're getting 2 boomsticks in a match. There's 2 ways to guarantee a run, but man, it is frustrating. Yeah, exactly, Artie. There's cheaper ways to do it, but this is like the caveman guide. Ugh. Brain stuck in head. Me take brain out of head. Shoot head, shoot brain, no head. Do more damage. Swap weapons. Only way you're guaranteeing getting 2 of a weapon in a match. While Boomstick is as impressive as it is, this card will be literally just as good as any of the like meta gun cards. Like getting the ring mom. Yeah. Swap weapons is a 3-cost card that basically gives you whatever weapon the opponent has. Considering every weapon in this game, independently of the Grasshopper, is a 2 or 3-cost weapon, this to me basically sounds like I press this button, I get whatever 2 or 3-cost gun the enemy has, and they get stuck with my shitty little Boira. Or, if you're playing Sable, you just handed your opponent a weapon that literally can't do anything at range. Or say you're playing Lars and you have a puncher. You just gave your opponent a weapon that does 5 damage to you. 5 damage. So, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna put it in S. Like, straight up. Like, I think it's very close to being an A. But as long as Boomstick is as oppressive as it is, this is literally you get 2 Boomsticks in a match. Empty Mag. Oh, my boy, Empty Mag. Oh, man. Okay. Empty Mag is actually a legendary card. Did you guys know that? That card's a legendary. Which makes sense. Empty Mag just empties your opponent's mag. Though, it is a little glitchy, so if somebody is already reloading, or in the process of reloading, and you pop this, it will not have any effect. So you have to make sure they are shooting, and you want to make sure they're near the top half of their mag. The exclusion being things like the puncher and the boomstick, because that'll just empty their mag again. You can also use this on the katana to prevent them from blocking. Barb cards, probably one of a few very overtuned cards in this game. You play a card, you take 20 damage. 20 at max. You play a card, you get 20 damage. Oh, you want to pop your med kit? Oh, not only heals 50. Oh, you want to pop health up? It only does 40 now. Oh, you wanted to like play 2 cards? So now I've just taken 40 of your health, and I can also see those pings through walls, and now I can kill you. S. Just undeniably S. And it's really annoying, and it makes people really angry. When you completely remove the ability for your opponents to play cards, that is either frustrating or downright, like, they just jump off the map because they don't know how to play the game outside of their cards. How it's like you just told Yugi you can't play any cards for the rest of his turn. Pixel Vision is really annoying at range, and depending on how bad your vision is, like, this card could, like, make it impossible to play. Like, I know people that get headaches from fucking getting Pixel Vision too many times. Although, I would argue, like, just close your eyes and follow the heart of the cards. Like, it doesn't bother me that much. Like, when I get Pixel Visioned, I just don't engage as much. But, like, it isn't going to stop me from shooting an explosive out of the air or getting out of line of sight. Like, you can still see people. I would say it's an annoyance card, so I'm going to put it in C. Big Head. You know what they say about Big Head. Tiny Brain. Big Head. 80% size head. Having someone's head hitbox be 180% as opposed to 100% makes utilizing any of the precision weapons a lot easier. This is one of those cards that I don't necessarily keep in my deck, but I definitely think when you are... this is one of those cards where the worse your aim is, the better this card is. Yes, this can be hard countered by Helmet. It's another 2-cost card. But if they don't have Helmet, you're getting free headshots. Like, if they want to try and, like, you know, head glitch you, like, their head's too big. You just shoot them over it. I would argue this doesn't need to go in B. High B, though. Like, this is something that I would recommend running. We're gonna split that. I gotta keep this combo together. Health down. Oh, I love this card. This card is stupid. So, like health up, health down's the opposite. It reduces their health by 50. Their max health by 50. Not only does it do that, it pings them through walls like all damage does. It doesn't kill, however, so if you have someone at 30 health and you use it, they will live at 1 health. This card has won me so many gunfights and won me so many trades in my time. I would argue that this is definitely one of those game changer cards. Like, you pop this and you are at a huge advantage, because considering simply they can't heal that back. Like, they can't medkit that health back. It's just gone. And heaven forbid we talk 2s where you can stack it and get someone to like 50 health. Like I said, we're kind of focusing on this being exclusively for 1s, so I'm gonna put this in S. Low S, but S. This is almost an A, but I think 50 damage from anywhere is insane, considering that's like 1/3 of your health. Alright. Move slower. Rivals movement speed minus 25%. This makes me, as a Haru player, move at base speed, and I hate it with a burning passion. Reducing your opponent's movement speed is incredibly beneficial. Against both of the movement characters, which would be Haru and Moose, this prevents them from doing certain funny things. This makes their strafe speed worse. It makes it so they can't make certain jumps. It's really annoying. It's really, really annoying. Is it gonna win you gunfights? Maybe. Is it gonna make it easier to hit them? Oh, definitely. I would argue this is gonna sit near the tail end of B tier, for the same reason that Big Head sits there. You get more benefit out of it, the less accurate you are on moving players, and as opposed to Big Head, it doesn't help you do more damage, it just inconveniences the enemy and makes it harder for them to move out of the way of your bullets. No jump. Oh, man. Rivals can't jump for 40, or I think it's 30 or 40 seconds. Regardless, you can't jump. There are trucks. You pop this on trucks, they can't do anything. They're stuck. They have to come out of one sight line, or they have to use the road to get up onto a height, which means they're taking 30 damage. This card is so oppressive, it's annoying. It's only oppressive towards movement players, really. Like, if you're not playing Moose and you're not playing Haru, like, this card sucks, but it doesn't completely negate your passive, too. I think it's a really good card, but I don't necessarily think that it'll be a really good card forever. And it's, like I said, it's really got its best utility against movement players and people that are, like, and obviously, like, on maps like Trucks and certain spawns on, like, Theater, I think. It just, in general, it really slows the pace of the game for the opponent. So, I'm going to put this in A. You're going to notice a trend. I'm going to put a lot of cards in A and S, mostly because these are cards that I'm running in my deck, or cards that I think you should be running in your deck. So, the numbers on this one, it's 60% reduced accuracy. That's a lot of extra bloom. If you're fighting someone at range, this card really makes it annoying. Like, incredibly. In terms of debuff cards, I'd argue this is definitely one of the better ones. Obviously, if they're using like a single shot weapon like the Leica, this isn't good. If they're using the boomstick, this probably isn't very good. But if you're trading Boyra shots from across the map and they're playing Donnie Goal and you're not, or they're playing Stevie Goal and you're not, this card's gonna make it so you have a much better chance of winning that ranged duel. B. It goes in B for me, comfortably. Rubber bullets. Oh, I hate this card so much. So, obviously, rubber bullets is the counter to steel bullets. Rubber bullets does 32% reduced damage. Max steel bullets does 32% increased damage. They counteract each other perfectly. This card makes some of the guns in this game, in particular the Brass Hopper, do jack shit. Like, no damage. However, that reduction does not apply to dot effects. So poison bullets will still do just as much damage if you get rubber bulleted. Exclusively because it doesn't affect dot effects and it only is for guns, I'm going to put it in A tier. It also does counter enemy skill bullets, which is also why I'm keeping it in A tier, because it counters an S tier card for the same cost. Small mag. Oh, this card is so annoying. Small mag, rifle's mag capacity minus 50%. Gun has 10 in the mag, it now gets 5. Puncher goes to 2. Or I think, no, Puncher goes to 3. AK goes to like 15. Leica goes to fucking 3. Small mag is really annoying. And it's even more annoying because Big Mag is a very, like, relatively non-used card. Like, the only people that are using it are, like, Mick. Because they start with the gun that benefits the most from having a deep mag. I would argue this goes in C tier, right next to Big Mag. It's not insanely good, and it's not insanely bad. But I would say, considering the current meta of the game being primarily deployable based, in terms of your card game, it's okay. You know, I'm gonna be honest with you. I run this over rubber bullets, just because I think it's more annoying to make someone have to reload all the time, as opposed to just having, like, less damage. So I think we're gonna put it in B, actually. Because I'm kind of thinking about it a little more, and I'm like, well... No, the difference is I don't have small mag max, so I have 43%, which gives them, like, an extra bullet, I think. Invisible health. So, at max, this is Rival's health bar is hidden in the UI for 60 seconds. So for 60 seconds, you cannot see your health bar at all. The only indicators you'll have for damage, I don't even believe you get the red effect around your face whenever you're low. You get the impacts, and then you get your voice line when you're at, like, a certain amount of health. I think it's, like, when you're at, like, 20%. I think this card is incredibly oppressive when utilized with other cards in this game, with dots, with minus health, with things like that, where you pop this card first and you kind of mess with them a little bit. But I say it's the best card in the game? Oh, hell no. And it has uses, I suppose. It's not worthless. It's definitely one of those cards that I think once you get better at the game, it's harder to utilize it effectively against people that are more skilled at the game and know, oh, my character said a voice line. Okay, pop my med kit. Or, you know, oh, I've taken like 8 impacts from this gunfight and you're using a boy roach, which means I probably just took like 70 to 80 damage, so I should probably use a med kit. So, I'm gonna put it in C. It's in like mid-tier C. Invisible Hand. Oh, woo, welcome, Bolt. Invisible Hand is good, but it is one of those cards that you kind of have to utilize it with something like Garbage Day. Because if you're like me and you got the gamer brain and you can think of like, yeah, we're doing a tier list for all the FEF cards. If you got gamer brain like me and you got 5 cards in your hand, I'm going to memorize the order of my cards like as soon as I humanly can. This is another situation. The less skilled the player is, the less the player is able to look at their cards and look at that and focus on those things at the same time. Play Invisible Hand, it's going to be really annoying. C. Invisible Hand sucks if Garbage Day is used afterwards. Yes, that is the use case for it. It's also 1 cost. Like, I will tell you guys, like, the Invisible Hand Garbage Day Barb Cards combo is 4 points, and your enemy will never want to play you again. That is the I am not rematching you combo. Not because it's insane, but because it is annoying. You are annoying. In fact, you don't even need to use Barb cards. That's a 2 cost to just... That's literally just Barb cards with 2 cards. Unless, of course, they, like, start gambling and start spamming the E key. Basically, the more analytical a player you get, the more power that's gonna have. Like, Garbage Day Invisible Hand is, like, a B tier combo, but it requires 2 cards. Actually, I'd argue it's, like, almost an A or an S tier combo. It's just you have to run 2 cards for it, which means you're now... Instead of, oh, I drew a card, I can do this, it's, oh, fuck, I have to draw this other card. And if you get Garbage Day without Invisible Hand or vice versa, it's, like, worthless. Which is why they're both individually in C. Sticky Bomb. S. S. Oh my god. Oh my god. How is this thing in the fucking game? So... for those who don't know, the reason Sticky Bomb is going to be placed higher than Bomb in the long term, so the timer on a bomb is 2.3 seconds, unless of course you shoot it. Sticky Bombs is 1 second after contact. So, in general, it is harder to outplay a Sticky Bomb because it lasts for 1 second, implying you don't shoot it, as opposed to a bomb where you have a couple seconds to go, oh shit, pop Ice Block, or oh shit, pop 10 man, or oh shit, dies immediately. So that is why it sits in A. Not only that, but it does more damage than a normal bomb. Sticky Bomb does 110 in its outside radius, and is 175 to the target is stuck to. That kills everyone. That kills a lot of people with health up. Let's see, actually, it wouldn't kill anyone with max health up. But it would kill Donnie B. Oh, it's okay, Bolt. So, it's also a 1-cost card. So, yeah. Just, it's stupid. It's so busted. Toxic Bomb. Toxic Bomb. The Toxic Cloud radius is 1.6 meters and lasts for 12 seconds, and when a player touches it, they take 6 HP a tick while within it. It doesn't persist for like more than, I think, 1 tick outside of it. I don't understand the cost of cards. Does that matter in game? It doesn't matter in game, it matters exclusively for deck building. You can have up to 50 cost, and you have to have 25 cards. So like, you can't just shove every 4 and 3 cost card in the game into your hand. Now, where I think a lot of people would say something like Toxic Bomb is bad in comparison to, say, something like Poison, I don't think that's what Toxic Bomb is supposed to be. The reason I think this is because Toxic Bomb and Smoke Bomb have the exact same duration and radius. They are both a 1.6 meter radius with a 12-second duration. Toxic Bomb is basically the equivalent of a Smoke Bomb plus. A lot of people bring up the point, oh, well, this actually, like, inconveniences me more than my enemies, because I can't see either. If they step in it, they're taking tick damage, and now you know where they're standing. Whereas opposed to, I think, like, a traditional Smoke Bomb, you won't get that extra Q. And then, like, not only, like, people can just walk through Smoke Bombs. Like, they just walk through a Smoke Bomb, and they're playing Lars, they have a Smoke Bomb, and then you're in the smoke, they're in the smoke, they throw a Sticky Bomb on the ground and shoot it, and they won. It just prevents people from being able to, like, it punishes them for playing into the smoke. It also punishes you, but you're the one throwing it, so don't throw it at your feet. Although I would argue Smoke Bomb is like a D tier card, straight up. Smoke has uses, but it is not for me. It is not for me at all. Toxic Bomb goes in C tier because it is a Smoke Bomb, but better, but costs a little more. I would run Toxic Bomb, I would not run Smoke Bomb, if I had to choose. Even if I had to drop another card to get the extra point for Toxic Bomb, I would run that. Mostly because I just think that green's really pretty. Alright, Kaboomer! Oh, let me stretch real quick. So, okay. Sorry, I've been, like, in my thinker position. Kaboomer, right. 140 health, fire rate of 0.4. So this can shoot pretty quickly and does a lot of damage. This shoots bomb lever bombs. It does, I think, 30 damage on a direct impact, which is a lot, like, for a turret. The problem is that Lars exists. I would also argue that this turret has a tendency to injure itself a lot more than it has to injure opponents. Because if you place it near a corner like you would place a turret, it'll just shoot the corner and blow itself up. So I would argue it is just a worse turret, and as such, Lars gets a 90% explosive damage resist from all sources. So I am putting this in B. Because I think that if you're running 2 turrets, it's good. Implying it's not against Lars. Turret is A. I think turret has insane use for putting pressure on opponents. In particular, those that... Like, it does a lot to really funnel players. Or they have to decide to challenge the turret and take it down with a full mag or 2 of, like, you know, boiler rounds. Or they have to focus you and take constant damage from the turret. And that turret will shred you over time. Like, that... Let's see, what's the fire rate on the maxed turret? Let's take a look. So a maxed turret has a fire rate of 10.0, which I believe means that's 10 shots a second. So that's... outrange. Okay, these stats can't be right. It says 5 damage at a fire rate of 10. I think, because the most I've seen it ever do to me is like 2 or 3. Regardless, it will shred you. It will shred you. Cat turret is A tier, not S tier. No, I'm not judging it based on how they look. I'll make a different tier list for that. Karatov got nerfed. This would have been S tier. The turret is S tier in 2v2. Karatov got nerfed. It used to deal double damage to players in 1v1 and quadruple damage in 2v2s, which is why it would melt people. It now does, like, on a good throw, 70 to 80 damage. It is a free 70 to 80 damage that they like, can't get out of. Why would that do that? That's a good question. You should ask the devs. Regardless, Karatov is still really good, and the nuke tech does still exist, which we'll talk about when we get to nuke and why I'm going to put nuke where I'm going to put it, which is going to be a lot higher than you guys expect. Karatov, probably after the nerf, sits comfortably in B tier. I think it's probably the highest B tier card we've had so far. It is so close to being A tier, but I cannot justify putting it in A tier. Bumb. Singular bumb. So, here's the thing. If you are a Lars player in the current year, and most of you probably are, or should be, because Lars is, like, objectively one of the strongest characters in the game, and is like a giga scrub buster, and completely counteracts one of the high, like, more popular things, and completely counteracts getting cheesed by bomb radius. More explosives is good. I would argue a singular bomb is a one cost card. B. It goes B. Mostly because Bomb Belt exists. Wall. This card sucks. So, this says 700 HP. Haru is the bunny. Haru, Haru is the referred Haru Gunner 83. Haru's the bunny that gets the passive is increased move speed. Moose Enjoyer. The moose is also based. This is Haru. Haru's the only character I've met in a video game that said splendid. And I fell in love immediately. No, Haru's a bunny. Okay, wall. Wall sucks. It has like 1 or 2 utilities. It can be used to some effect to like zone off parts of the map. But like, why? I personally would never use this card. I mean Kangaroo Joey, or whatever it was called. I'm putting this card in D tier, mostly because we're getting Bouncy Wall with Babas, which is going to make it so the bullets reflect, which means I can do trick shots. Bomb Belt. 4 bombs for 1 round when it's maxed. A tier. Oh shit. Oh, I gotta stretch. Ooh. Thank you, Zoe. I needed that. Bomb Belt is incredibly strong. You get 4 bombs. Ice Block. Oh, here we are. Here we are, guys. Here we are. For all the people that have been talking to me for a while, you probably know that I'm going to put this in S tier because it's one of the best cards in the game. Alright. Ice Block. Right. Ice Block is one of the best outplay cards in the entire game. You get stuck with a Sticky Bomb. Ice Block. Somebody chucks a shitload of explosives at you. You Ice Block. Somebody pops Tin Man. Ice Block. Somebody looks at you in a weird way that makes you a little uncomfortable. Ice Block. Someone pops Heartless. Someone pops Heartless Nuke, and you can't get the heart. Ice Block. Someone pops Phantom Bullets and Predator Vision. Ice Block. Someone runs at you with a katana. Ice Block. Boomstick. Ice Block. Now, with just that in mind, the next question for most people is probably, okay, well, oh, now you're trapped in a big block of fucking ice. What are you going to do about it? You can still use deployables. You can throw a Molotov at your feet. You can pop Tin Man and come right out of it and counter whatever other bullshit they're going to throw at you the second you come out of it. You can play Ninja Log. You can play Swap Weapons. You can literally have as much time as you want to look at your deck and make your plan. It does have health. It is not affected by dots. It is not affected by fire. It's only affected by explosive damage and guns. Yeah, but it is 800 health. A Boyra shot does 10. So unless, of course, they are peeing bombs on you, you have a lot of time to think about your next actions. Now, don't get me wrong. It's not going to get you out of every situation, but it's going to get you out of situations where you should not have lived. Flash Bomb, D tier. I've been flashed, I think, 3 times. And all 3 times, I just ran behind a cover. It's not good. It's just not. I wish it was better. If you could pop flash in this game, it would be good. They should let me pop flash in this game. Landmine. Landmine. Explodes on contact. 5 meter radius with 140 damage. On the plate. This will not one-shot a player that has not taken damage. That sucks, but is balanced and good. Now, in a lot of cases, I would put Landmine a lot lower, but I actually discovered something today that was kind of interesting. So, when you're under the effects of the card Parley, which makes it so that you or your enemy cannot shoot, play cards, or do anything besides walk for 7 seconds, if you have a landmine on the ground, or a bear trap, or any deployable, those still take effect. That, on top of landmine being something, an explosion card that you can just go gadget landmine and shoot it underneath their feet, or shoot it when they're like, you know, 5 meters away from it and it still damages them. It's gonna go in B tier. Simply, it's just gonna be like kind of like a bomb, except a little different with one other different use case. Bear Trap. Bear Trap is really good against people that are doing the Y-axis challenge, because then they can't look down and they just have to stare at it. It's minus 20 HP upon stepping on the trap, and if they don't shoot it, they're immobilized for 8 seconds. It breaks in like 2 shots. It's not good. D. Like pretty deep D. Oh, Christ. Here we are. Here we are. Okay. We're saving Titan for last because I need to do some research. Heartless. Heartless is a very fun card. So, I could make an entire video on the functions of Heartless. I'm making a note for that, because that's something I should do. How could you be so heartless? Maybe I shouldn't quote a Kanye quotes in my my fucking video, but hey, that's besides the point. It's good. You throw your heart on the ground. You play your card. Where the card is placed, there's a heart left on the ground. From that point forward, from the second you throw it, you take a tick of damage. I think it's like... Let me take a look. I can look this up. So the way it works is you extract your heart and you leave it on the ground. You get a 12% movement speed penalty. And you are bulletproof, but you lose 3 HP per second. So from the second you throw it, you begin aggressively losing your HP. This can be counteracted with things like health up, max health. Ice block will also prevent taking the damage over time. So if your opponent, hypothetically, pops Heartless to counter your Heartless, as long as your heart isn't on the map, you win. Heartless has a lot of funny combinations. You can use Heartless in a wall to glitch your Heartless into a wall. You could use Heartless and Ice Block over the top of your Heartless, and I believe that would also protect you for at least a period of time. Heartless Nuke traps your heart on the previous map, and then you can go and hunt down the opponent. It's very counterable, however. They shoot your heart, you die. They get a damage tick the second... Don't really including the glitch stuff is fair for tier. Heartless Nuke is an intended mechanic. Wall Nuke is literally you're just putting a wall on top of the... Or Wall Heart is just you put a wall on top of the heart, they have to shoot the wall. Ice Block is they have to shoot the Ice Block. It's not a glitch. It's just a tech, I guess. It's not even a tech, it's just a combination. These aren't things that are going away. They're not going to make it so if I put a wall on my heart, it squeezes it. Like, they've already, like, decided that Heartless Nuke is staying in the game. Like, they made a whole challenge about it. Like, it's intentional. At least, if it wasn't intentional, they've decided that they're going to keep that mechanic. Like, for example, if we were to rate, like, say Stevie Gold, what does Heartless Nuke do? You throw your Heartless on the ground, you pop the nuke button, the nuke sends you to a new map, and on that new map, your heart doesn't exist, so they can't shoot your heart and kill you. So you're effectively put on a timer, where if you kill them before you run out of health, you win. But they can't kill you. You just take damage over time. They can't deal damage to you. Yeah, it's goofy. All that being said, I'm going to put Heartless in B tier. This card is also incredibly strong at low levels because people do not know how to play against this card, and I want to change that. I want to be the change the world needs to kill all Heartless players. Parley. 7 seconds where you or the opponent cannot play a card or deal damage. You can use this with self-destruct. Walk up to your opponent, kiss them on the mouth, and then blow up and kill both of you. Happy Pride Month. I would never personally use this card. It is not for me. It requires a lot of pre-thought out planning and a lot of extra cards to make it usable. It has no use on its own, independently of, oh, you can't shoot me for 7 seconds. So, like, it could also do some stuff with Heartless, but I feel like there's a lot of cards that do it better, so I'm putting it in D. Nuke. I just shoved a nuke up my... Anyways, Nuke's a funny card. So, when you play Nuke, it will effectively pause the match for a couple seconds, and then upon the completion of that pause, the screen goes to white, and you land on a new map. For those of you who don't know, you can use Nuke multiple times to discover different maps. There are 3 maps you can get from nukes, and if 4 people use a nuke in a match, they all die. I will not spoil anything else about this because it is very fun and interesting. Heartless Nuke exists. Nuke is really good against people that are rushing you with boomsticks. Nuke is really good at completely throwing off the pace of the match. Like, if you're getting rushed with shotguns and you pop Nuke, you've just increased your chances of winning the game significantly. I would argue, out of the Joker cards, Nuke probably has the most use, but you have to use it right. Like, it has to be in combination with, like, a ranged weapon like the Leica, or it has to be to counteract somebody who's used a boomstick. But it can be used to great effect, so I'm actually going to put it in A tier. Okay. Titan. The name is Titan. Let's see, have they updated the card description for Titan yet? No, they have not. Okay. I have to frickin' open the Buddies Bulletin for this one. So, let me find it here. So Titan's damage reduction upgrades starting at 65% and goes to 75%. Before the previous patch, it was 85 to 90. Heartless card also reduces the player's speed. That was actually something that got introduced later. I didn't know that. So, the way Titan works is that you have a 75% damage reduction and you deal 25% increased damage, but you are very big. Like, you are very big. It significantly reduces your movement speed and gives you a little bit of additional max health. The way it works is effectively like an overshield. So, let's say you have 50 health and you pop Titan, and you now have 150 health. If you take 100 damage, or if you take, say you just immediately then pop the reverse Titan card, you will go back to 50 health. It does not give you the health back. But, if you do pop the card and take 100 damage and go back to 50 health on while you're in Titan, and you teleport back into, or you go back into reverse Titan, you're back at 50 health. And you don't, like, magically lose all your health and die. But if you take more damage than your current base health, so say you take 110 damage and you go to 40 health, when you change out of Reverse Titan, or when you use Reverse Titan, you will be at 40 health. So, it can be used like an overshield, and it has a lot of really strong, it can be used to really great effect if you use it like that with a lot of knowledge on how the card works. It's already giving you 25% extra damage, and you already get a bunch of DR while you use it. It would have been an S tier back when it was 90% damage reduction. I would argue now it sits comfortably in A tier with Nuke. Gun time, and then we review the new cards. Okay. You guys want to guess where I'm going to put Boomstick? Chat, where do you think I'm going to put Boomstick? What do you guys think? Oh, you're so full of shit. It's going in S tier. That is the front of S tier. In ones, if your opponent pops boomstick, you now have to either pop your own boomstick or pop like 3 or 4 fucking cards just to deal with it. It is such an oppressively strong card. It needs to be nerfed again. I will just be brutally honest. It needs to be nerfed again. It needs like a mag size of 4 tops. And it could still probably use a little bit of a damage nerf. I understand if we only get one or the other, but I honestly think both would make the gun a little bit more fair. Okay. The Albatross. The Albatross, and for the record, the boomstick does, I believe it's 12 damage and fires 6 pellets with 8 in the mag. Albatross does 70 damage with 10 in the mag. When you do ADS, it does increase your base accuracy for the gun. For those who didn't know that. I don't know what the percentage is, but it is quite a bit. The Albatross is pretty good. It's a sniper. The unfortunate thing is that when everyone has pistols and you have a sniper, unfortunately, if you're missing your shots at like long range and they get to you close, you are now playing phase quickscope trickshot city. However, it does do a shitload of damage, even if you shoot him in the body. It's 3 body shots to kill usually. So, A tier. I think it's a good gun. I definitely think that there are better guns, but it's pretty good. Grasshopper. 8 damage with 35 on the mag with a fire rate of 11. Albatross hipfire is surprisingly accurate. Yes, it's incredibly strong. Albatross ADS is surprisingly accurate. I landed some pretty dirty shots on someone, and then I got him to 1 health and then died. It's pretty embarrassing, but Albatross is good. Grasshopper, it's good. It's real good. The problem is you can't hit the broadside of the board of that thing at like 10 meters without an accuracy up. So I think, independently of having supporting cards, it's relatively mid. Like, it's definitely, in a lot of cases, can be outclassed by the base pistol, outside of, like, very close range. So with that in mind, I am going to put it in B. But that doesn't mean I'm not running it. You run poison bullets, you run accuracy up, which you should be running both of those. Yeah, put Grasshopper in your deck. It's a good combo. It'll let you challenge most guns in the game. Leica, if you can pace your shots and hit bodies, this gun has an insane time to kill. You 3-tap someone with this gun, and you, like, come it in your pants, like, straight up. Like, that, it is nuts. It is so much damage. Personally, for me, I typically hit my shots. I think for people that may struggle with precision weapons or pacing the shots of a 6-round revolver, this gun can be a challenge. Do I think that's something that can be learned? Oh, most definitely. So with that in mind, I am going to put it at the very tippity top of A tier in general, because I think it is one of the strongest guns. It's definitely for the cost. That's kind of my 2 cents on that. AK. 3-cost AK. It's basically the Grasshopper, but bigger mag, more damage, and I think about the same accuracy. Kind of the same situation. It's pretty alright on its own, but you get accuracy up on it. You get poison bullets on it. You get something else like that, and you will evaporate people from obscenely far away. So, this is also going to go in A tier. Very good gun. Golden Boira. It is a Boira that does not have damage fall off, and does more damage. It is a 2-cost card, so you are giving up another card for that, but you're also getting a pistol that if you are to get into a 1v1 with somebody from, say, the tops of rooftops, you'll evaporate them. Just like if you land the exact same amount of shots, you will kill them a lot faster. Independent, and obviously, of course, Steve Eagle starts with this fucking thing, and that is insane. I definitely think this gun also sits in A tier. I think there's really not a lot of guns that don't sit in A tier, I'll be honest. Katana C tier. Reason Katana's in C tier, it does okay damage, but it has an insanely high skill ceiling, and even then, you just get outplayed by people who play movement characters, like straight up. Or they play Lars and they just throw a grenade at they throw a bomb at their feet, you die. Katana lifestyle is really rough. My heart goes out to all the Sable players out there. Love you. Just kidding. I love you a little bit. Love you a little bit. Okay, now leaves the Puncher. The Puncher probably used to be behind the Boomstick as one of the best 3-cost cards in the game. With the introduction of a damage nerf, as well as the introduction of Thick Skin, and as well as the constant existence of Lars, this gun isn't as good as it used to be. In the hands of a Lars player, against an opponent who doesn't have Thick Skin, which is the majority of your, I'd say, low to mid-game experience, this card can be really, really oppressive. Like, borderline, how the hell do I even beat this dude? Until you realize you can run at their feet if they're not playing Lars and kill them. B. I think that with the right setup and the right circumstances, it wins you rounds. But you have to build around it, and it has to be the right circumstances, and your opponent has to not be playing the wrong cards, and you have to have the right cards. All right, 5 more. We're not gonna rate the characters because I don't have enough time on all of them to really give my honest opinion on all of them. There's people that have put more time in this game than me who have made their tier list on the characters, and I would stick by most of those. Thick Skin, S tier. %40 damage resistant base, or no, 50%. Sorry. 50% at base goes up to, I believe, 60 or 70. This makes it a lot harder to get cheesed with bombs. Yes, you still take damage, but it's a heck of a lot less. Considering the current explosive meta that we are in, the ability to counteract half to greater than half of the damage of that is insane. It is so valuable. It is probably one of the cards in this deck, or the cards in the new set, that I'm like, you need to get this. Phantom Bullets. You can shoot through walls for 10 seconds. This card on its own is okay. If you don't know where the fucking opponent is, it is useless. So it has to be used in conjunction with other cards like Poison or Predator Vision or things of that nature. Considering Predator Vision and Poison are both 1-cost cards that do effectively a similar thing, with Predator Vision being a lot better at it, they're both really good. I would put Phantom Bullets in A, simply because it does require additional support to win games. Predator Vision, S. You can fucking see through walls for let's see, how long does Predator Vision last anyways? I think it's like, what, 12, 15 seconds? You can see your opponent through walls. You can know when they're gonna peek. You know when you can shoot the bomb. You know everything. You got them downloaded. Just very strong, very, very strong. Bigger explosions. Your explosions deal more damage. This is an interesting card. I'm trying to get the numbers on it real quick. Yo, does anyone in chat have the numbers on bigger explosions? That's one of the few cards I don't have. I mean, with bigger explosions, it's basically just exclusively used to make punch or do damage. It is a one-cost card, and it helps enable Puncher to be good. You're exploding right now? Oh. Happy for you. We're sorry to hear that. I'm not really sure which one. It enables Puncher, which is a B tier card, C tier. Explosions already do enough damage. Bomb Lover. I know it's like 100 to 200%. It's a lot of extra damage. It makes Puncher strong. And like, I guess it would have an effect on Bomb Lover as well. So, Bomb Lover. Every time you play a card, throws a bomb. The bomb does either 20 to 40 damage based on how leveled it is. I kind of talked about this before we kind of got into the tier list, but I really don't see a use for this as of right now. Like, we don't really have a way to spam cards. We don't have any way to generate a ton of cards in our hands that aren't bombs. And maybe once we have that, this card would have more viability, but until then, I would say this comfortably sits in D tier, as it is a 3-cost card. We're done! There it is, everyone. This is the official Heartsore Friends vs. Friends card tier list. Well, yeah. Yep, so we're gonna take a little... Where they release things for packages that don't exist yet. Well, yeah. Yeah. Alright, guys, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and shit the video. Add a tier and rate characters. Yeah, fine, I'll add a tier and rate characters. How do you add a tier? Add a row above. Friends. Alright. Yeah, do you guys see that one coming? You guys see that one coming? You guys see that one coming? Lars is like a Scrub Buster 9000. Not only is Lars a Scrub Buster 9000, Lars also doesn't have to worry about bombs or explosions as a whole in the entire video game whatsoever. Bro is so incredibly oppressive. Behind Lars, I think we've got 4 really strong characters to talk about. Donnie B, Haru, Stevie Ghoul, and Musalto. Donnie B, 25 extra max health. That's pretty big. Haru, like an extra 15% move speed. That's pretty good. Double jump, really good. Stevie Ghoul has the fucking Golden Boira, which is still bugged, by the way, and still gives the maxed version. So really, really, really good. So, my thought on that. Ghoul. okay, I'm gonna be real with you. I think Gol, Donnie B, and Haru are all kind of different facets of players. Donnie B and Haru give a lot of consistency for every round, and Stevie Gol gives you consistency for people that have time in Kovacs. Moose, probably right. I think it's probably Donnie B and Stevie Gol together. Haru and Moose Salto. Lars at the top. Then we've got DJ Newton, Duck Anderson, Mick, Sable, and Spike. I think I would probably put Duck Anderson behind Moose. Medkit every game is pretty good. Probably behind a Mike. Although, I'm gonna be real with you. I think DJ Newton sits somewhere in between here. I think DJ Newton in the right hands can sit up here. I'm just not very experienced with DJ Newton. I don't see very many DJ Newton players. So I think once we see Lars kind of grow out of meta, maybe we'll see Newton rise up there. After that, Spike just does more damage. And Sable, okay, I think we have our character tier list down. Real talk though, I think Sable Santana is a fucking fantastically, like, I think a character having the katana off the rip is a cool character idea, but like, man, it would be so much better if the character just had a hot card variant of katana in their hand every round, because not having a pistol in this game is so bad. Like, the reason it works for Mick is because, well, you can drop, like, a couple gun cards. Like, you can drop AK and Grasshopper and have a bunch of cards to, like, build around your SMG. There are no cards that buff Sable Santana. There's no cards that buff... I mean, like, obviously, you can use, like, slowdowns and things of that nature, but, like, I see a lot of people who play Sable that just put a bunch of gun cards in their hand. Maybe there is a deck for this character, but I don't know it yet. We're gonna delete that row, but yeah, this is... We're gonna do best to worst. Okay. So yeah, that is my tier list there. That pretty much covers it.